FLIPACLIP vs ROUGH ANIMATOR. What animation should you go for? Which one takes the cake? The answer is fairly straightforward, and I'm sure even you already have the answer to this question, but that's not what I'm going to cover. Here I want to give you an in-depth look into both applications and let you consider which animation software suits you best. Diving straight into it, both animations have a very simple interface. However, FLIPACLIP is more beginner-friendly and offers customization options for you. ROUGH ANIMATOR, on the other hand, is more professional-looking, a little bit complex but very simple when you get into it compared to more professional animation softwares. In terms of the home page, ROUGH ANIMATOR is rather bland and wants you to get straight to the point of just making your animations. FLIPACLIP, on the other hand, catalogs your animation projects very well and also give you access to other parts like watching movies of FLIPACLIP, communities, complaints, and a lot of things, but more on that later. Hey look, a video I made years ago, it even has more views than any of my videos on YouTube. That said, the ability to organize your project into folders is common to both applications. It's just that in FLIPACLIP it is called stacks. When it comes to making dimensions for your animation project, both FLIPACLIP and ROUGH ANIMATOR are very comparable and they give you customization options to make a custom canvas size. However, ROUGH ANIMATOR excels over FLIPACLIP in this regard, in a sense that you can crank up your animation dimensions to 4K, meaning you can make 4K resolutions of your animation, unlike on FLIPACLIP. In terms of the frame rate cap, both animation software caps you at 30 frames per second. While your canvas size depends on the resolution you're using and the device you're using, psychologically, FLIPACLIP looks like as if it has the largest canvas size because of the way it is arranged, unlike ROUGH ANIMATOR, although you can always expand your canvas size on ROUGH ANIMATOR. And even though we all know the best way to enjoy using this animation software is to use it on a tablet, where the difference really becomes significant is when you're animating on a mobile phone. FLIPACLIP makes it easier for you to animate on a mobile device because it can easily adjust to portrait mode, but the cameras for ROUGH ANIMATOR remains fixed on landscape mode. If you're using a device that comes with a stylus, both FLIPACLIP and ROUGH ANIMATOR offers pressure sensitivity and the likes. However, when it comes to drawing your strokes, ROUGH ANIMATOR takes the cake in terms of smoothing and in terms of brush customization. Now, although it doesn't come with a lot of varieties of brushes, unlike FLIPACLIP, it does beat FLIPACLIP in a sense that you can make as many brushes as you want, and you can tailor-make them to your own preference. That being said, FLIPACLIP has brushes that you can never recreate in ROUGH ANIMATOR, but their use case is very rare. At least for me, I've never even had any use for them. Moving on to the timeline, ROUGH ANIMATOR has a professional looking timeline, while FLIPACLIP has a very simplistic timeline. This means that on FLIPACLIP, every cell of animation is equivalent to the overall frame rate of your animation, while on ROUGH ANIMATOR, the cell can be extended to different frame rates, meaning that you can have multiple frame rates within a single animation project, which is something that you can also achieve on FLIPACLIP, but it's not as intuitive as ROUGH ANIMATOR, because on FLIPACLIP, that means you have to duplicate your cells if you want to extend a particular frame of animation. This also means that on ROUGH ANIMATOR, you can animate different layers at different frame rates, while on FLIPACLIP, you will have to start copying and pasting just to extend the frame rate of a different layer. So in simpler terms, if you ever plan to make an animation with multiple frame rates on FLIPACLIP, then you have to plan ahead, unlike on ROUGH ANIMATOR, which makes it very easy. When it comes to the onion skin, FLIPACLIP has a wide range of customization. You can view as many as 5 previous frames of your animation, while in ROUGH ANIMATOR you are only limited to 4. Also in FLIPACLIP, you can switch up the visibility of certain frames in your onion skin, and you can also toggle with the opacity of the beginning and ending frames of your onion skins. ROUGH ANIMATOR, on the other hand, just gives you the access to change the color of your onion skin, and even that is just limited to 3 colors. Also, unlike FLIPACLIP, in which its onion skin cuts across different layers, ROUGH ANIMATOR's onion skin is limited to the area you're working on, and you cannot view the onion skins for multiple layers. This makes in-betweening in ROUGH ANIMATOR on different layers needlessly complicated. If there's one thing I'm going to give Rough Animator though, in terms of onion skin, is that accessing its customization is very easy. When it comes to painting your animation, Rough Animator gives you the ability to paint on a different layer while taking the layers above or below into account. This means that your color can completely be on a different layer irrespective of your outline or any other feature. While in FLIPACLIP, you have to actually paint on the layers of your outline if you want to use the bucket fill tool. This means that whenever you want to paint on FLIPACLIP, the safe thing to do is to duplicate your outline layer and then paint on it, so that in case you make any mistakes on it, you can always go back to the original, duplicate it, and make your adjustments as well. Also, with features like blur fill, expand fill, tolerance, close grabs, and fill by lasso selection, Rough Animator is simply a juggernaut when it comes to painting that FLIPACLIP cannot even compare to. You also have the ability to select options like fill behind, fill in front, and fill inside of your painting, so it makes the coloring process very easy. When it comes to the amount of layers you can use, Rough Animator gives you an access to an infinite amount of layers. Although I haven't tested that, the maximum amount of layers I've ever used in an animation project is maybe 25. FLIPACLIP, on the other hand, is restricted to only 10. But it doesn't end there. Rough Animator, aside from giving you access to infinite amount of layers, it also gives you the ability to edit your animation across different layers. So for instance, if you want to change the outline color of your outline layer, you can select all the image across that layer and use the bucket tool to fill the colors inside and change it. You can also edit across multiple layers of your animation by selecting every single one of them. Once the selection is done, you can move, you can expand, you can erase, you can paint inside the colors, and you can make different adjustments to your animation. This kind of multitasking is something that FLIPACLIP lacks. One thing both animation apps share in common is personal customization of your layers. Here, they both have access to blending mode, masking your layers, locking your layers, merging your layers, and deleting your layers. However, FLIPACLIP excels in this regard by giving you access to pixelating your layers and adding glows to your layers. This gives me the impression that if you are looking into making pixelated art, FLIPACLIP takes the cake over Rough Animator. And even though Rough Animator gives you access to switching and switching off your anti-aliasing, I've learned that when it comes to exporting those files, it does not really translate well, unlike FLIPACLIP. While making this video, I think a way around that might be for you to actually draw on a very small segment of your canvas and then expand it when you are done with the entire process, because it looks quite pixelated. Both FLIPACLIP and Rough Animator have rollers that make you draw basic shapes, but FLIPACLIP exceeds Rough Animator in the sense that it gives you access to the symmetry tool. This makes you draw faces that are looking straight up at the camera, or anything that you want to make perfectly symmetrical very easy. And an additional benefit to that is that it cuts down your animation time by half, meaning you don't have to draw the second side. Rough Animator compensates for this by giving you the ability to flip your canvas, but it's not really the same thing, because you're not really drawing in a symmetrical way, and you're not really a robot, so you can't have a perfect symmetry. You can only get close to it. Another thing FLIPACLIP gives you access to is recording the time lapse of your project. Now, I know there was a time I could access it, but right now I can't figure out how to initiate recording the time lapse, but I know it used to be there. Also, FLIPACLIP gives you access to a grid tool. You can also customize its opacity, its size, and thereabouts. And this helps you to measure your proportion of your animation. And it's a really good tool for keeping things consistent. FLIPACLIP also dominates Rough Animator with its selection tool or its lasso tool. Aside from the basic feature of moving, expanding, and stretching whatever is selected, FLIPACLIP gives you the ability to warp your selection and add depth into whatever image is selected. Aside that, every other thing is similar between FLIPACLIP and Rough Animator, such as having your anchor point and moving things around that anchor point. FLIPACLIP also gives you the ability to add text to your animation, something that Rough Animator lacks. and it comes with different fonts that you can select. So because of this, I often use FLIPACLIP to make comics. FLIPACLIP also gives you access to using a smudge tool and a blur effect over your animation. This is also something that Rough Animator does not have. Now, while you can find your way around every of the features I've mentioned that FLIPACLIP has, there is one aspect that FLIPACLIP absolutely stomps Rough Animator, and that is its community. On FLIPACLIP, you have easy access to things like tutorials, you have occasional challenges that is run by the owners, you have competitions where sometimes comes with huge cash prizes. You have so many things on FLIPACLIP. It has a very wild fan base, and you can even go into the application and see other people's works and see what you are likely to be able to achieve using just FLIPACLIP. This is something that cannot be said for Rough Animator. And because of this sense of community that FLIPACLIP has, it also means that it comes with very frequent updates. Unlike Rough Animator, where maybe an update can come once in a year or once in 6 months. And you need to understand that Rough Animator is, I think, it's an app that is being done by just one person, Jacob Kafka. And if you are expecting an individual to compete with an organization, that is not being realistic because it's just one person. And he's done his best to give a lot of support, customer support, as much as he can. One more thing that can be said about the advantage of FLIPACLIP over Rough Animator is the existence of the magic cut. And what the magic cut does is that, I see. Well, you know, I mentioned FLIPACLIP having a very active community. But recently, the community has not been smiling on FLIPACLIP, but more on that later. Now, understand that I've stated some advantage of Rough Animator over FLIPACLIP earlier in this video, but one part where Rough Animator stands out is your ability to make animation cycles. What does this mean? Unlike FLIPACLIP, where you have to duplicate each cells anytime you want to loop your animation around, Rough Animator makes this process easier. By clicking on a new cell, you can create an animation cycle of your previous frames of animation, and you can extend them as long as you want. So these loops are easy to do, and sometimes you don't even need to close the loops by animating them yourself. You can animate straight forward, and then by clicking on the options on the animation cycle, the part that says forward, you can click on back to forward. This automatically helps you loop your animation back by playing the frames in reverse. So it gives you this perfect loop of animation. Now it looks janky here because I've already looped the animation initially. But if I had just animated it straight forward, this cycle will actually help me loop it back, forward, back, forward. An added advantage to the animation cycle is that aside from just looping your animation, it can also help you scale up or scale down your animation, and it can also move the positions of your animation automatically. So what you do is that you click on the options of all this scale, offset, X offset, Y offset, and even the scale, and you can toggle with this feature to move your looped animation around without having to manually do it by selecting them and moving it on each individual frame. Now, if you are using it for the first time, it might be difficult for you to actually get used to it, but once you experiment with a few projects, it becomes second nature. The second feature that Rough Animator has that is not present in FLIPACLIP is the existence of a camera. What does this do? The camera helps you to move the viewport of your animation to different positions on your canvas. So let's say you have a big animation project like this and you want this character moving around this huge background. By adding keyframes of your camera, you can easily make them move around your canvas. On FLIPACLIP, the way to achieve this would be to export your animation file and add this camera movement on a video editing tool. Rough Animator also gives you the ability to import multiple frames of images. So that means if you export a file as an image sequence, you can import them into Rough Animator quite easily. This is something you can't do on FLIPACLIP because you have to manually import the images frame by frame and adjust them, and it's a tedious process. But Rough Animator does this automatically for you. And finally, a major part Rough Animator outshines FLIPACLIP in terms of animation is the application of the undo button. The undo button for Rough Animator does not only undo your strokes on your canvas, but it can also undo your processes in your animation, such as adding new canvases, new layers, and it can also redo it. And the amount of undos is fairly large. Unlike FLIPACLIP, where it is clearly restrictive and you can only undo processes on each frame of animation. Notice how the undo button does not delete the newly created frames. Now, while I would love to end this video on a neutral ground and tell you that the animation software you go for is based on your preference, the fact of the matter is that there is clearly a superior app. And in case this video has inspired it out to you already, it is Rough Animator. The reason being that while I love FLIPACLIP, and I started out with FLIPACLIP, and you can even make high quality animations on FLIPACLIP, Rough Animator outshines it, most especially in the terms of its price. For the features you are getting on Rough Animator, the price being a one-time purchase and being that low is a steal. FLIPACLIP has recently moved into subscription base, and this hasn't gone down well with the fans. Also, FLIPACLIP, despite having an active community, has teased us with updates. For instance, the timeline update for years now, and it has not even delivered until date. So things like this is getting fans of FLIPACLIP mad at FLIPACLIP, and a lot of people have recently been migrating to other animation softwares. Now, I personally use Rough Animator and FLIPACLIP even till date. Anytime I want to make a moving background, I prefer to make them on FLIPACLIP and then import it into Rough Animator because the process is generally faster and smoother for me. And one more thing that I noticed is that although this might be based on personal experience, from my own personal experience, Rough Animator crashes more than it does on FLIPACLIP. So FLIPACLIP does not really experience crashes, or should I say I've personally not experienced crashes. This could be maybe because I have a powerful device, or maybe it is well optimized. I really can't say for certain. Also, FLIPACLIP seems to have slowed down on the things that made it very special to me back then, which are the competitions that come with monetary prizes. It seems this day they prefer to just make challenges and get people to use their app without giving them any form of compensation or incentive. So I'll just stick to Rough Animator for the meantime. Now, if FLIPACLIP gets better, I'm always willing to switch sides back to FLIPACLIP. The best thing to do is to choose whatever works for you best. But things like the subscription fee, the constant ads that people are seeing, although I don't see that because I just switch off my internet data, these are things that most people have been complaining about. And Rough Animator it goes straight to the point. Now, this could be because maybe Rough Animator is being made by an animator, so he knows the needs of an animator better than the organization. And maybe that's why it's just better. But that's my own conclusion for this. If you watched this video so far, I hope you found all my explanations helpful. Please leave a like, comment, and maybe check out a few of my animations that I have made using both FLIPACLIP and Rough Animator by clicking on the videos on the screen. Thank you.